Hello guys, welcome back. So Qualcomm claims that their new chip Snapdragon X Elite is superior to Intel Lunar Lake and AMD Strix chips, and their second gen Oryon CPU is up to 134% faster than Core Ultra 200V. That, my friends, is some huge performance lead against Intel Core Ultra 200V chips, by knowing that these chips are recently released, of course. So the news is that when Intel claims that their new mobile SoCs are faster than ARM-based counterparts, however, the Qualcomm Director of Engineering Sriram Dixit discloses that Intel didn't put the Snapdragon platform at level ground when they were advertising their new Lunar Lake benchmarks. Qualcomm has provided benchmarks stacking up their Snapdragon X1E-84-100 with Intel's mid-tier Core Ultra 7-256V, where the chip makers claim that they managed to witness a 10% performance gap with Intel's Lunar Lake counterpart in Geekbench single-core testing, and with multi-core, this gap increased up to 52%, which is a massive figure. It is important to note that these performance bumps also come with higher power efficiency numbers, so overall things are looking solid for Qualcomm Snapdragon platform. Now guys, these tests are not fair, to be honest, cause of the config differences, as Intel Core Ultra 7-256V is 8-core chip, whereas the Snapdragon X1E-84-100 comes with 12 Oryon chip core on board. Hence, the testing is not fair in my opinion when it comes to the differences in specs. But Qualcomm does say that its flagship Snapdragon chip surpasses Intel's flagship counterpart, the Core Ultra 9-288V, in multi-core testing, revealing that they utilize benchmarks from PC World to support their claims since they didn't have access to Intel's chip. At Cinebench R24, Qualcomm's Snapdragon X1E-84-100 surpasses Intel Core Ultra 9-288V by 3 points. Well, this gap is slim here, but the performance differences increase in Geekbench 6 multi-core benchmark by a whopping 44% differences, showing that Qualcomm is indeed leading in both single-core and multi-core testing, which is undoubtedly increasing and interesting to witness. Qualcomm showcased even more benchmarks that their Elite X is delivered 10% faster CPU performance versus Intel Core Ultra 7, where Intel peak performance requires 38% more power, as you can see here in the slide from Qualcomm. And they also said that their Qualcomm chip is 12% faster CPU wise versus AMD Ryzen AI 9, where AMD peak performance require 43% more power than the Qualcomm chip, as shown in the slides also from Qualcomm. Now guys, these new benchmarks were conducted within Geekbench single core test, where Qualcomm further showcased the unplugged performance of each respective platform. As you guys know, there's been a long issue since these X80 chips, when disconnect from the wall, they do not perform well, and that's the case here too. So the Intel Lunar Lake Core Ultra 7-256V was about 45% slower, while the AMD Strix Point Ryzen AI 9HX 370 was 30% slower when the battery wasn't plugged in. And this has been going for so long, and it's still the case here that these are not good when the power is not plugged in. Qualcomm also showcased its second gen Oryon CPU's performance, which is first going to power smartphones and then move over to laptops in the same elite segment. This CPU will offer a big performance bump with up to 134 improvements showcased over the Intel Lunar Lake SoCs. The company once again claims that the Snapdragon 2 Gen 2 Oryon CPUs will offer up to 62% faster performance versus Intel Core Ultra 7 Series 2 chips at ISO and the Lunar Lake chips. And it looks like that Qualcomm, being an ARM, is once again offering some big performance numbers to accompany their existing and upcoming Snapdragon CPU with Oryon cores, and we can expect the second gen core to appear on laptop next year but no such news is available to support the chip release next year claim.